Hey, this is DJ.
This is Kaz. We're Buried Above Ground, and this is
Speak of the Devil podcast.
Everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of the Speak of the Devil podcast. This should be a very fun bit of news to go through today, so I got some interesting topics. We'll start off with music. Right now, a couple days ago was actually the 39th anniversary, not quite 40th anniversary of Motorhead's Ace of Spades record. Very cool, influential album. Probably their biggest one ever. Some of my favorite tracks off of that are obviously Ace of Spades, Love Me Like a Reptile, We Are the Road Crew. That might be my favorite. I don't know. And then The Chase is Better Than the Catch. Now that one had the cool music video that they had. And I remember seeing that. I think they put a clip of that in the Metallica Behind the Music. It might have been something like that, where you just see this brief clip just to show how awesome they were. The godfather of heavy metal, as James Hetfield would say about Mr. Let Me Kill Mister. So check Motorhead out. Motorhead's always a good listen, and a great jam too if you just want to play some gritty, hard down music. Moving on. So this is kind of not surprising, but I guess Slayer's manager has said that the band is not necessarily done past touring, which probably means that they'll maybe do some albums, I guess. But in the world of digital downloads and Spotify and not being able to make any money on it, all the money's on the road. So I don't know really what that would mean. I mean, sure, let's have more Slayer albums, and maybe as a band, they're so big that globally, maybe, outside of the U.S. where, they don't have so much of these digital streaming formats, maybe they do still sell physical media, and maybe they do probably make money because they're kind of a legacy band. So who knows? We'll see with that. But man, you guys got to check this out. This is King Diamond. He's crazy. A lot of cool face paints that he does, and just this unbelievably high falsetto voice, or falsetto, I don't know. Would it be falsetto for a man? I don't know. But the track is called Masquerade of Madness. Check that out on YouTube or Spotify. It is really cool. The riff is amazing. I mean, I love the main chug riff on that. And I guess from what I understand, in 2020, King Diamond's going to reunite with Merciful Fate. They haven't played together, I guess, in a long time. It might be a new record. There's always a new record when these people get back together and stuff like that. So cool stuff. So that's it for music this week, and go to video games. So I can update you on our little guy, the Pocket Go. It does work, but very limitedly in what you can find on the web in terms of ROMs. It seems like almost every major company now has really cracked down on these ROM sites, and unless you can rip some of your own games into ROMs themselves, it's a really hard process. And even if you do, the emulators that are on this are very weird. They're not. Some of them aren't the normal emulators that most people like to use, so therefore some of the ROMs just won't load. But I mean, the one thing, like I said last week, that I really wanted this for, and it does work, is the Sega CD. So it's almost all of my favorite games I have back on this, and to me that's worth the price of admission right there. I mean, knocking out Honey Boy in Prize Fighter again is one of the greatest feelings I haven't felt in probably 25 years. I haven't played a Sega CD properly in that long because I had one, it got stolen, I had another one, the disc died, and 18 million systems later, you just don't really get back to it because, again, and I think that's why I was able to find Sega CD-ROMs because, like I said, it's so hard to collect for. Sega's never released it, so I don't know. I mean, at this point, after 20, 25 years, I mean, some of those games, I don't know, they might be public domain, so maybe that's why it's easy to find them, but you can't find Nintendo games or stuff like that anymore because of they're re-releasing them digitally. You can't. And that's fine. It came with there's a couple preloaded stuff on there, but like I said, I wanted it for a Sega CD, and it delivers as a Sega CD. So awesome. I love this thing. So I did try to get, people suggested getting a different, you could try, but like a different SD card for this. Some people say after time this can wear out because it's, a cheap Chinese knockoff or something. But there's like 4 different file folders when you put it in to your computer, and 2 of them are completely inaccessible. So even though you can copy everything from 2 of the files, the other 2 you can't. So I copied as much as I could, and the system won't start up with the other SD card I got. So you're just going to have to deal with what you got. So I would recommend getting the 32 gig like I got, because I was surprised, I guess I shouldn't be, to find out that Sega CD files are huge. I mean, yeah, they're on a CD, so it makes sense. But, I mean, they're as big, or if not bigger, than some PlayStation 1 games, which I was surprised about. But, like I said, they work, and that's the important part. So, yeah, so the preview of Jedi Fallen Order, which is being made by Respawn, the people behind Titanfall and Apex Legends, which maybe, I don't know, we'll see how it turns out, because they're not really known for third-person kind of action-adventure. I mean, they're very good at doing the first-person stuff, so we'll see. I mean, the last game that was like this was the Force Unleashed 1 and 2, and the first one was a lot better, and that one was, I mean, you had crazy powers. That's why it was like Unleashed, and you could bring down an entire Star Destroyer at one point in the game. I mean, I don't know if it's going to go to that level. I think this takes place after episode 3, so he's one of the last Jedi to survive Order 66. I'll play it, but it's just, I'm kind of like cautiously optimistic about it. Like, I don't know how much it's going to expand canon. I remember when they did Battlefront 2 by EA recently. I mean, they had a story in it, but then you thought she was going to be an Empire person, and she turns out to kind of join the Rebels. And I don't know, I think this will be very by the numbers, and he's probably not going to have much to do with canon, but we'll see. It looks like kind of an interesting game. So if I get that, we'll do a review of that later. So another game that I haven't played, but I've seen a lot of reviews and gameplay footage, so I think I have a pretty good understanding of what it is Death Stranding, the new Hideo Kojima production with his own company. And it's just kind of like this post-apocalyptic world where you have to like traverse the terrain to save one of the last babies or something. I don't know the full story, but it's something like that. But I guess what's interesting is when you're actually walking, whatever you have on your inventory, you literally carry on your back. So it's not like Resident Evil where you've got 10 herbs and guns and all this stuff, and it doesn't show up on you. This shows up to the point where it'll like tip you over if you're going too fast or stuff like that. So that's cool. I mean, that's just cool physics. I don't know if that makes for a good, compelling game. Maybe it does. I've heard it's fun, but you really gotta grind at it. I guess after it gets going, after like the first 6 hours, it picks up. I don't know. I probably will pass because I don't have enough time to sink into something like that. I'm more like kind of arcade, quick play kind of stuff like that. So if you guys want to check it out. I mean, it has been getting good reviews. Just know that it's slow. It's not like this big action. It's a slow burn game. So, and then the last thing in video games, Google Stadia. I guess I don't know if it's out or it's coming out, but I've been hearing a lot of buzz and breakdowns of the controllers and the capabilities. I mean, it's not anything that, Xbox and PlayStation haven't tried to do before with streaming games, online. And in my experience, it's mixed results at best, because it's not like Netflix. If Netflix buffers down a little bit, or if it takes a moment to catch up or something, it's not that big a deal. You're passively watching a movie. You're playing a game, especially like action games or anything online, like a competitive shooter. If you're going to have drops in the video or drops in lag or anything like that, I mean, it's just not going to be good for that. But maybe for casual gaming, or people that don't really want to get fully into console or PC gaming, I mean, all you need is it looks like a Chromecast and then the controller. You can take it kind of anywhere and hook up to the network. I've seen some promo videos from Google. It does look good, but, like I said, Sony and Xbox did similar videos when they were, touting their service. So, I mean, you really have to have a fast internet service to take advantage of that. But they're claiming that they have ways to mitigate some of that on their end, so you don't need to have that fast of a connection, but the proof will be in the pudding. We'll see. So that's it for video games. And then, whew, man, what a night last night of wrestling. Man, AEW is on fire right now. I mean, talk about coming out of nowhere. I mean, just swinging right out of the gate. I mean, last night was the Full Gear pay-per-view, and I'll tell you the one thing that I totally love, that I've been ranting about forever, was it was on a Saturday. So if you wanted to watch it, if you had friends or whatever, you didn't have to worry about, I mean, if you're a normal, the weekend off kind of thing, but most people do. And it's just nicer to know that you can just enjoy yourself on Saturday night like normal people. Doing pay-per-views, especially lately, WWE with these 1:30 a.m. ending, pay-per-views into Monday. I mean, it's too much, I'm sure WWE will never take, a page from that book and do it, because now they have NXTs that usually go on Friday or Saturday night before whatever they have. And it's just such a tradition, especially as long as Vince McMahon's going to be around, that it's going to be on Sundays. But I love the Saturday aspect. But anyway, the pay-per-view itself was also really good. I mean, there are still, just like anybody, I mean, it's not like, back-to-back-to-back stars. I mean, some of these guys are up and coming, some of them trying to make themselves, But what I would like to highlight is the last two matches, the Cody Rhodes, Chris Jericho match, which Cody Rhodes said if he lost, he would never again challenge for the AEW belt, which is, the way he lost. Technically, did he lose or not? So who knows? Because they're at the end of the match and going through the motions and everything, and then Chris Jericho gets the walls of Jericho on him twice. The first time he got out of it to the ropes, second time straight in the middle of the ring, and I'm not familiar with the guy that was outside of the ring, but he had a towel, and he threw in the towel for Cody Rhodes, and he lost the match, and then after that, he kicked him in the nuts or whatever. So it was a betrayal. So I'm sure Cody will say, I didn't actually give up, so therefore I deserve another title fight. That's how wrestling goes. So, but that was cool. And then, my God, I mean, Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. I mean, I'm a believer now. I mean, I've seen some Kenny Omega stuff, and obviously Jon Moxley when he was Dean Ambrose in WWE, but I mean, when I say they tore the house down, they literally tore the house down. They destructed the ring all the way to the wood, slamming each other on the wood. Before they had the wood out, they're putting glass shards like ECW, backdropping each other on that. Brutal, but good. I mean, not too over the top. It wasn't exactly like extreme gore ECW, but it was close. And I mean, oh my God. I mean, bravo, 5-star performance. I saw, as I was watching it last night, Renee Young, who's married to Jon Moxley in real life. I mean, I don't know if it's kayfabe just to, keep the heat going, but she just kept tweeting like, please stop this. Please, this is too much and all this stuff. But I mean, you tear all that stuff off and you're down to the wood. I mean, that's flesh on wood, man. That hurts. So they were taking some serious bumps. I'm sure they're hobbling around today, but AEW is big time competition, and it's great. I mean, I would suggest if you like cool promo stuff. I mean, Cody Rhodes cut an awesome promo earlier this week or whatever. That's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's viral, but for the wrestling world it is, and for AEW it is. So, and I think that's the point. Is we are now shifting. Especially I'm talking about AEW. I mean, this is normally a WWE show, for me. But now it's definitely, it's something to tune into. I mean, I love Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I mean, they work perfect together. So it doesn't feel hokey. It feels right. So, bravo. So Full Gear was awesome. So if you can watch some highlights, check that out. And we are out. That is all the news and info I got for you guys. So have yourself a good day. And we'll see you on the next Speak of the Devil podcast. See you guys later.